Larry's asked for this song. I wrote this song part of the city in a restaurant on Main Street in Hamilton, and I finished writing it in the Brig in Port Dover. And it was the night I saw the ghost. It was an interesting thing. This friend of mine had just died in this crash. It was really awful. We were all really sad about it. And a helicopter crash, fighting forest fires up north. And last time I'd seen him, my brother Jim, who's a helicopter pilot, was flying actually on the same fire. And Larry and myself, we spent a whole weekend together just drinking beer and shooting pool and telling jokes and listening to music. And we did that, started on a Friday night at about 7 or 8 o'clock. Larry borrowed his dad's car and came over to our house. And we started just, we got about 4 cases of beer and just started drinking and shooting pool and taking turns selecting records. And we went until, like, Larry's dad called him, like, Larry called home about 11:30 at night. And his dad was mad because he had the car, so Larry drove the car home and then walked back. It's about 1.5 miles. And then, none of us were driving. So Larry figured he'd brave the one-way trip. And then he walked back, and then we played till 5 or 6 in the morning. I went to bed. Jim and Larry were still playing. And I woke up, 5 or 6 hours later, and there's Turner Larry standing over my bed saying, "Hey man," shaking me awake and handing me a beer. So he was still there and they were still going. So I joined them. I joined them for a while. I remember I had to get a bit of a nap because I was playing that night someplace. And then after my gig, I got home about 2 o'clock in the morning, and Jim and Larry are still going. We did it all again Saturday night. I finally slept a little bit, and we all crashed out a little for a couple hours here. And then again, I woke up with Jim and Larry standing over me, handing me a beer, hauling me out of bed. So we did it all day Sunday. We went till about 10 o'clock Sunday night. And Monday morning, Larry was hopping on a train to Thunder Bay and then up to Armstrong. And Jim was hopping on a plane to fly out to Calgary to pick up his helicopter and fly back east to fight fires in Northern Ontario. And I was heading up to Aurelia, if memory serves. We played at the Highwayman Inn for a week, which is a bizarre gig, but did that. And that was in May, I guess, beginning of May. The next time we were all together, though, Larry was in a box, and it was July the 13th. And he'd been flying with a guy in a helicopter who had not, real dangerous. This guy was, not only did he own the helicopter, he was also the pilot and he was the mechanic. So he was cutting some corners, because there's something, when parts expire, Timex parts, you got to change them. It's been on there for 10,000 hours, it comes off, you put a new one on, even though it costs you $5,000 or $6,000 to do it. You have to, well, he wasn't doing it. And he had a guy flying up with him who finally on a Sunday said, "I'm not going up with you, Tim. You're crazy. This machine is not operatable." And he asked around, and Larry's day off, "Hey Turner, you want to go up?" And Larry goes, "Sure, all right." And he hopped in. They did one flight out to the lake, filled up a water bucket. They were coming over the fire, and there were about 8 or 10 guys from Grimsby on the ground. All of our friends were right there on the ground fighting the fire in their orange coveralls. Larry was up in his helicopter with Tim Taggett in his 206, 204, whatever it was, flying over the fire, and all the guys on the ground, they looked and saw, here comes Taggett, and yeah, he's got Turner in the back punching off the water bucket for him. And they came flying over, and they heard this bing, this sort of, and this, and looked up, and one of the main rotors had gone, and so the machine just started gyrating wildly, and they were just above treetops, and it was falling right in. The last thing I saw was Larry Turner jumping out of the side of the helicopter for all he was worth, but he didn't make it very far, and he and the helicopter and Tim Taggett crashed and were burned in a pile of mess. And all these guys from Grimsby ran right there. They were there, they had hoses, they ran straight to the machine and started hosing it down, but it was a lost cause. They identified Larry from dental charts. So the next time I know, I'm in St. Andrew's Anglican Church in Grimsby, standing over this gray casket and going, I was just totally, I remember just being buzzed. I couldn't even believe I was there. I couldn't believe it. I sang, "Pots and spoons, empty rooms, it's raining out tonight. What a way to end the day, not turning out the light. And because Turner loved John Prine, and we used to sit around playing. We played guitars together all the time, and he was a big John Prine, Neil Young, Bob Dylan fan, and that's what we did. So I sang that over his box. It was just the most surreal weekend. And one of our friends, one of our mutual friends, his dad was a Molson rep from Belleville, but he showed up in Grimsby, and so none of us spent a cent all weekend. The Grimsby house ran out of Molson Canadian. It was just the weirdest time. But as soon as that was done, I remember playing the Festival of Friends, and then I said, I gotta go, I just gotta split, I gotta hit it. And I had one more gig. I played in Port Dover, and I wrote this song. And then I hit the road, and I was gone for 2 months, I guess. 2 months on the road. Thumbed out west, thumbed down to San Francisco, which was probably a mistake, but I lived. I'm here to, I can tell you all kinds of stories about that for months. It was crazy. It was a month that lasted like a year. Living on the streets of San Francisco was insane. Absolutely insane. I made lots of notes. I had steno pads. I bought little notebooks when I ran out, and I was always like, wow, just making little notes for myself about what I'd just seen, what I'd just experienced. It was nuts. People getting killed and stuff. I was a street person, man. Picked up by the Moonies, and oh, it's crazy. But I digress. This is a song that I wrote for my friend there.
I felt the wind blow, saw the shadows move, making way for a change in me. I've got 1,000,000 miles within my grasp as my fingers turn the key. The lakes and trees that pass me by, and the clear blue sky above. And though I ride my road alone, I'm rolling on your love. Never really gone, I can see you now. Never really gone, I'll be back somehow. Oh, my road goes on and on and on. I'm never really gone. Never really gone. You know I found my love in the light of dawn. Found the peace in the setting sun. There's so much left behind me now for the things that will be done. The wheels of fortune are turning fast. My windshield frames the view. And when my compass needle points the way, I'll be coming home to you. Never really gone, I can see you now. Never really gone, I'll be back somehow. Though my road goes on and on and on, I'm never really gone. Never really gone. Shines on a northern road, a starry sky ablaze. I'll remember how you looked to me when I last saw your face. But now my turn is coming near. I'll stop and rest a while, just to build a fire beneath the pines and dream upon your smile. Never really gone, I can see you now. Never really gone, I'll be back somehow. But my road goes on
Thank you.